Hello everyone, this is Gonzalo Burgos for again. This is the second part about the career prediction by Vedic Astrology. I just want to share this amazing spot about the city I'm living in. And in front of us, if you can see back there on the sky, there are gonna be 2 points right there and right there. You can barely see, but that is the planet Mars and the planet Mercury on the constellation of Gemini. So it's very, very interesting to see that. This is a historic moment for myself. Uh, Mars and Mercury are transiting my fourth house, so it's going to be very important for this prediction. So continuing right now with the prediction of my career. We talked yesterday about the 10th house of Marasi, which is the part who is gonna predict about my career. So now we're gonna move on to the next divisional chart. We talk some depth and gives a lot of depth about my career. That is called the D10 chart, the Samsha. The Samsha. Now I'm gonna make exactly the same. I'm gonna use the same technique I used yesterday and I've been using before. So you're gonna see how everything is making a lot of sense. So the Samsha rising, in my case, is on Gemini. I'm a Gemini rising on the Samsha. My ascendant falls on the nakshatra of Puna Basu, and I have the moon. So it's gonna give me a lot of intuition in what I do. And the moon is in the nakshatra of Ardra. So the moon, by making a lot of destruction, a lot of something out of the box, is gonna make my career very prosperous. So with that said, we're gonna move to the 10th house of the Samsha. The 10th house of the Samsha falls in the sign of Pisces. So Pisces is the same sign I have as ascendant. So it makes a lot of sense. So my career is gonna be focused on something that is unreal, something that is imagination. So Pisces, it's gonna make me deal a lot with the special effects, a lot with photography, everything that is illusional. That is going to be Pisces. That is going to be the 10th house of my career in specific. Now we're gonna talk about planets on the 10th house. I have Ketu, the karma. Ketu is in the nakshatra of Uttra Prabhapada, same as my Amatakar Kamars on my D1 chart. It makes a lot of sense. Uttra Prabhapada is about make the difference between material things and spiritual things. So taking that with Ketu, which is the karma, which is the disattachment, so it's gonna make my career some kind of spiritual path that I'm gonna teach the people and show the people to make a difference between the spiritual and material things. That is Ketu. Talking about aspects that my 10th house is receiving aspects from Mercury and from Venus, coming from the sign of Virgo. So Virgo is the sign of practical things, is the sign of thinking logically. So receiving aspects from Venus and Mercury to my 10th house is gonna make my career very logical, very artistic, very focused on what is called about arts, calling about technology, calling about being to the point and being very specific in what you do. So that is talking about the aspects from Venus and Mercury straight to the 10th house, to Ketu. So now we talk about the 10th house and the aspects. Now we need to see the lore of the 10th house. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. Where is Jupiter? Jupiter is placed on the 11th house of my Samsha chart. What does mean? That Jupiter has been transiting basically has moved one house. Basically, two houses, excuse me, because it's on the second house. What that mean is that Jupiter is gonna give me gains in what I do. It's in the sign of Aries. Aries is a sign of action. Aries is a sign of evolution, pioneer stuff. And Jupiter is in the nakshatra of Ashwini. Ashwini is ruled by Ketu, so it makes a lot of sense now. Ashwini is the nakshatra of the pioneers. Ashwini is the nakshatra of the things that is going to begin. The guy who invented this, the guy who tried this, that is Ashwini. The pioneers, the first. So that is regarding my career. So my career is gonna be involving to produce something new, invent something new, evolutions in something new. So Jupiter is receiving no aspects, but it's receiving a conjunction by Mars. I'm gonna talk about Mars in a few seconds. So with that said, we have the ruler of the 10th house is playing on the position he's having. The 11th house, I forgot to mention, the 11th house is the house of gains, is the house of wishes. It's about of everything you gain, about large organization, about large connections. So that is Jupiter. Jupiter is gonna gain my career through large organizations. It's gonna gain a lot of knowledge through teach people, basically, and invent, most likely. So we talk about Jupiter. Now we're gonna move about the significator of career. That is Saturn. Saturn is in the 7th house of my Desemsha. It's the house of partnership. It's the house of people who's gonna work with you every day. Saturn is in the sign of Sagittarius and it's retrograde. So with that said, we can say that Saturn is making a lot of impact on my life. A lot. When I said a lot, it's a lot. And Saturn is in the nakshatra of Purva Ashada. Purva Ashada is the preview of a victory. So with that said, I can say that Saturn is gonna help me to win the battle before it begins. So Purva Ashada is ruled by Venus. So a lot to do what we mentioned before about Venus, about something related about arts, creation, something that is good and pleasant to the eye. So Saturn plays on this nakshatra is gonna make me, once again, like I mentioned, something creative, something new related arts. So that is Saturn. Saturn is receiving aspects from the moon, like we said, in my ascendant, from Gemini. So like we mentioned, my moon is gonna help me to create things in some kind of destructive way, in some kind of turbulence, in some kind of stormy ways, which is going to be pleasant to the eye. So that we talk about Saturn. Now, moving to the next point. The next point is about my karaka, about Amat Karaka. Amat Karaka, like I mentioned yesterday, in my case is Mars. Mars is placed in my 11th house conjunct Jupiter. So with that said, Mars is in the sign of Aries. So the ruler is in the house. Mars is in Aries. Mars is his own sign. Mars is going to express everything regarding Aries and 1,000%. And is in the nakshatra of Ashwini. Ashwini is ruled by Ketu. So it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Mars has been moving from Pisces through Aries. From the D1 to the D10 has been moving 2 places. So that means that I'm gonna gain about the transformation coming from being Piscean energy, about working on my own efforts, which is the 1st house, and now getting a gain from my own efforts, which is the 2nd house. The 2nd house. So it's a good inspection about that. So with that said, Mars is receiving it's receiving a conjunction for Jupiter. Jupiter and Mars are friends. Jupiter is the king. Mars is the warrior. Jupiter is the guru. Mars is the soldier. They are good friends. So Jupiter is going to help my Mars to develop about what I want to do, which is going to be good. So with that said, I just want to close up this prediction with the conclusion that my career is going to be something involved creativity, something involved art, something involves media, photograph, something involved create something that has been never been created before. So it's gonna be very interesting to see. I've been dealing with my 30 years with different careers and different aspects of my life, most likely manual works. Actually, I work in a call center. In fact, this I'm recording right now from my workplace. And I've been dealing with a lot of works and positions and trying to determine which is going to be my own career. And I'm gonna go back and revisit this video probably in the next months or the next years. And I'm gonna put a comment about everything I said and making a revision. And I'm gonna say to everyone, okay, it worked. What I predict that happened, or no, it didn't happen, it was another thing, and I'm gonna make a correction of that. Something I want to mention, it's like I said yesterday, my spouse is gonna be a lot linked to my career. And as far as I read that I can gonna meet my spouse on my career itself. It can be a workplace or a school place. I'm actually on college, so I can meet my spouse either workplace or college. So with that, I just want to close, and I want to invite everyone of y'all to study Vedic astrology because it makes a lot of sense. I was a few years ago trying to do what is going on with my life, why my life is not advancing, what is the meaning of life, why am I here? But knowing Vedic astrology has shown me a lot of resources, a lot of knowledge about the meaning of life, why we are here. And something I can say today, 2019, that my career is and my marriage is going to change society. It is written. I just trying to make sure. I just trying to read more. But as far as I've been read, everything is conducting and going to the point that I can say that my career and my marriage is going to transform the society. I don't know who's my spouse is. Maybe I met her and I don't know. Or maybe it's the one I have on my mind. I don't know. I don't know which my career is going to go to. I just work in this, I'm just working and doing this job. Maybe it can be my job, but something I know that something is about to change in these coming months. Saturn and Ketu are transferring my 10th house of career, which is going to make a lot of changes in the next months. Rahu and Mars are conjunct right now in the 4th house. So it's the axle of the 4 and the 10, which is going to make a lot of changes. Eclipses always make changes. So I just want to buy everyone to know about Vedic astrology and read and understand your own chart. So thank you for watching this video with me. I'm gonna give one more highlight about the place I'm in. This is the 5th floor of my parking lot, which is amazing view. And I just want to make a spotlight to the moon. So thank you and have a good night, everyone. Goodbye.